All right, all right. Welcome back to the Crossover Podcast. I'm your host, Jeremy, aka Agent X. Back again with another Tekken video. We also have Cheeto, the co-host, and returning for the fourth time, IceColdEdge. Returning again, SperoGin, and also returning Lotus. What's up, guys?
What's going
on?
What's up? I gotta give you props. You got the fresh lineup for this one.
Oh yeah,
yesterday it had to go, dude. It had to go.
Love it. I'm loving it.
So today's topic is Tekken 8 Season 2 was released 3 weeks ago?
It's been 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah. Let's just say everyone's not happy for one reason or the other.
And in case you guys haven't noticed this time around, we did not bother with an outline. Not because we didn't have time or we were lazy, but with this topic specifically and Ice Cold on the set, I figured it would just be easier to just kind of talk and let things kind of flow out without having to try to stay on topic. So I think this will be better.
Nah, you just didn't. You just want to be lazy. It's okay.
No.
This topic writes itself.
This topic does write itself.
Yeah, it does.
It does write itself.
So let's start with this. Let's see what everyone's opinion of the season is so far. I'm gonna start with Lotus.
I don't know. The more I've played it, the more I have enjoyed it because I am actively finding counterplay to stuff, and I am feeling as though I'm able to sidestep stuff that I couldn't before. And I don't know. The game feels fresh in a way that feels good, but at the same time I'm kind of in this weird predicament where because I play Hwoarang, it feels like every character is doing what Hwoarang does at the moment, and so it's this weird, like, it feels fresh, but why am I playing Hwoarang when everybody's doing what Hwoarang's doing? And so that's kind of my opinion on it. That and Tekken 8 still has disconnection issues, like randomly. Like I can't play online without getting random disconnects and losing random points.
Yeah, I don't understand that at all. Like randomly I'm playing and it's like I'm not in online mode anymore.
Yeah, it just kicks you off completely.
I'm mid-match and it freezes and says failure to connect to opponent, and I take losses. I take the loss.
Oh wow, that's terrible.
Oh wow.
I go back to practice. I go back to the practice mode in queue again, and I have the loss. So I'm basically not able to progress because I'll play 2 games, win or lose, and then I'll lose 1,000 the next game.
Yeah, that's happened to me once. I was on promotion match too, and then it gave me the L. It disconnected. I thought the guy plugged on me at first. It's like your initial reaction, and it didn't. That did not happen, and I took the L, and it's just like it's sad, and I got penalized. All that.
That happened to me a few times too.
I've tried everything. I've even port forwarded, and it's still happening. I've been in contact with Bandai support, and I've done everything they've said to do, and they're like, if this doesn't work, we don't know. We are working on something.
We don't know because I haven't.
That's basically. I'm paraphrasing, right?
Right.
But
yeah, because I haven't had it often, but I'll have a random one match every day. Like if I'm playing consistently more than 2 hours, I'll start a disconnect every now and then, and it isn't just oh, you get disconnected, you lost, go queue again. No, I just completely boots me off of online, and I have to go back to the main menu, reconnect, and then go through the whole penalize. It's so dumb.
Yeah,
gotcha. Cheeto, what about you?
I think I don't know if the recording got it. At first I wasn't the biggest fan. I think my initial thought, not even really listening to anyone else, is kind of what Lotus was saying. I don't like the direction the game is going in the sense of you're covering weaknesses of characters that not necessarily just it. To me, it doesn't seem like just covering weakness. It's more homogenization where it kind of all feels the same. Everyone has stances now. Well, mostly everyone. They all have basically super offensive, aggressive offense, and it's not the reason I was playing Reina to begin with. Don't get me wrong, she has very strong stance, offense, and you can use a lot of mix-ups. But one of the things that I didn't have before was lows, right? So I had to either commit to a hell sweep or do something else, and I could get blown up for it. So now it kind of like even using the new low, the forward neutral 4 into just consistent stance. I even told Jeremy or Agent X that I haven't been even really having that much fun with Reyna. But as I've been playing more, the patch has actually been pretty fun. I've been playing more Lily than anything, and yeah, like Lotus is saying, there's a lot of things that actually do have a lot of counterplay that's not very obvious at first or second glance when you're getting hit by it. There are some stuff that's like really stupid, and they've mentioned that it's like bugged and it wasn't intended to be that way. But I don't necessarily, while I am having fun and I'm not saying anything too negative about Tekken, I'm not too happy in the direction of character identity that they're going.
Gotcha. What about you, Ice?
Yeah, I will say that I agree with Cheeto in that I think overall the direction is probably swung a little too far in the direction that they're going. That said, I think there's a huge amount of throwing the baby out with the bathwater. I think there's a lot of like oppressive things in the game at the moment. I do think that there's heavy frame advantage situations that they can tone down a bit, but overall the core of the game is still, to me, still the core of like the way Tekken 8 plays, which I very much enjoy. I'm having a ton of fun playing Tekken 8, and yeah, obviously I'm a king player, so I'm going to be happy with my character. I'm happy with my character either way. But I just really think that the sentiment that the game is unplayable and like, oh, I'm gonna go play tag 2 now, or I'm gonna go play, like, I'm not about that at all. And sure, like if that's what you want to do, fine. That gives me more time to catch up, which is fine because that's what I've been playing catch up since being out for a while. But I'm really enjoying Tekken. I'm still enjoying season 2, even understanding that things need to be adjusted. I'm still enjoying the game quite a bit. And like even some of these new situations are like, oh my god, like this is kind of crazy. A lot of times, like it's still really only for one interaction that it's like that. There aren't very many. There are some, but there aren't very many situations that loop into themselves. It can, but not very many. So that's what I'm saying. The game needs to be adjusted a little bit, but overall, it's super fun. Very much enjoying it, and there needs to be a lot more grinding and a lot less crying, in my opinion.
Gotcha.
Well, oh, one last thing. I'm sorry. Last thing. I know this is the reason why we have no outline because I talk a lot. I think it is impossible for people, and I know that people nowadays consume information really fast, and like people have these like super elaborate strategies and combos in day -1. But in my opinion, it is impossible to fully understand the scope of a patch in the course of the 2 weeks that we've had so far. So people who are like saying, "Oh my God, this is the worst patch ever," after 5 or 6 hours of them messing around with stuff, like way huge overreaction, and y'all need to chill with that. Like it's I understand it's the nature of our society right now and stuff like that, but seriously, y'all need to chill with that.
Yeah. Let me get my thoughts real quick, then I'll get to you, Spero.
Okay.
So I've been wrestling with this back for the last 2 weeks, whether I like the patch or not. I largely do like the patch in general. Like Cheeto and I said, like there are some things that obviously are just way egregious, like Jack's move and like Paul's like bug breaking defensive move, guarantee move, something like that.
Yeah,
But
Hammer the Gods into that.
Yeah. But for me, I don't have much room to complain since I play Yoshi, and there's like ways to get around all this shit. I've been having more fun playing Leo than Yoshi in the past 2 weeks, actually. So, but I also think that they did swing too far into the direction of so many plus friends for all these characters, and people need to chill out. They already said they're making another patch. What more do you want from them? They're working human beings. Game development is hard, so chill the fuck out, please.
It's funny you reminded me. It's also, since this patch, I've never gotten as much use as Reyna's parry back 1-3 than I've ever gotten since this game has been out. This patch just lets me fucking parry almost everything because everyone just presses buttons, and so it's just free.
Oh, that's
weapons.
the same with flappy kicks for farming. Yeah. I just get I get free flappy kick counter hit all the time.
Yeah. Spiro, what you got for me?
I'm loving it. It was needed. It is refreshing. A full crouch heat engager is so good because what was happening before this patch, it was the same song and dance when you activate a heat engager. Especially for some characters, like Eddie, for instance, he has one move that's plus frames, like running 3. Heat engager to running 3, or heat engager to forward 3. That's the mix. I mean, I could do up back 3, but that's
Wait.
like a slow.
Or while running 3 is his only plus frame?
It's like his only serious plus. He didn't have anything. He had up
That's
back
wild.
3,
Okay.
and he had forward, and he had running 3. And running 3 is like he's in handstand. He's limited to what he could do. He doesn't. He didn't even have a low. Like until now. Like now you're giving him an install on a heat engager, or on a heat activation, whether it be a heat burst or a heat engager. So now I could at least go into a low. Before that, my only option for you like to do a high or a low would be his handstand throw. So it's funny because like you're saying how like some people, like some characters, it's getting homogenized, but like now I could actually be creative. I have different styles. I could play Eddie high risk. I could play Eddie low risk. This is what I've always done with how I play Tekken, and I felt so limited before this patch, and it just feels super refreshing that I could do different things. It's super good. Now, to add on to this, like people like Ice was saying, like how could you know? How could you read patch notes and just know that the game is broken and everything is messed up? Like, we haven't played the game long enough. We haven't. I talked to some people and they're like, "This is messed up." And I was like, "Have you fought that matchup yet?" And they're like, "No." I'm like, "So you're just going by what you read in a patch note, or what you saw on a Twitter post, or what your hero or some famous player had to say about it? Like, you're not. What if they're bad in that matchup? What if they're salty about that character? What if there's all kinds of reasons people say what they want to say. Some people just say it for clickbait. Some people just have a good following, and this is they're just playing the algorithm, and they're just like, hey, we're gonna cry about it because I'm gonna get more viewership. I'm gonna get more money if I just complain because people like complaining. And like, there's all types of reasoning why certain like big time players say what they say. Now, are some of them genuinely being themselves and telling the truth about it? Sure, of course they are. And that's okay. Like, but I just don't like I said, just more grinding, less crying. Like we, as like Tekken players in the past, we have had to deal with infinites. We have had to deal with like Tekken 4. Like you had to deal with like Just Frame Laser Scraper with Jin, and like there was not many characters that could compete with that. Like, and you just had to deal with it. It was hard. But people dealt with it. I mean, granted, at the best of the best, like at Evo, yeah, Jin was winning tournaments. Like, you had a Ling up there, you had an occasional Steve, and USMC Ogre was playing Paul. Like, there were some people that made it close. Tom Hilfiger was using Nina, and like that guy Annika from Greece came in with Julia one year in Tekken 4, and like, made a top 8. Like, so there's. It is historical, and this is I'm a Tekken player. I don't know much about any other fighting games, and I would bet my heart and soul that there is broken stuff in every fighting game, and you deal with it, and you learn how to handle it. And everybody's not giving it a chance. Like, you're jumping over to other Tekkens, and granted, like I love the people playing Tekken 5 DR. Like, I would love to normalize that game and make it like a retro game at all fighting events, because it is one of the best Tekkens ever made. But like, to just boycott the game because you don't like how certain things are, when there's so many good things about this patch. The movement is good. The buffering round start. You could sidestep now you could sidestep down if you're on P1, or P2, whatever. You could sidestep to the foreground. Like, these are major changes that have been, like, we've been waiting for stuff like this, and now you're just gonna like. Yeah, like Lars has some weird stuff, like way OD damage. Like Lars needs to get nerfed a little bit. Jack shouldn't be able to just make some noise all day like that. Paul shouldn't have his thing, and there's probably a few other little bugs and things that are messed up. But like, if you look at everything from a whole, this is like, you're talking about like less than 10%. And 90% is fresh, it's new, it's different, it's versatile. Like, do we want the same old? Like, do we want these pro like Arslan and Atif and Ulsan? Do we just want these guys like, oh, okay, this is a top tier character. We're gonna just pick this character, and it's the same people winning, and it's the same top tier. Like, I feel like with season 2, anybody could win. This is giving opportunities for everyone, and it's forcing the best players out there to stick to a character. Pick who you're gonna like pick a character and stop picking tiers, because it's I think that's where they're going. I think they're going with like not creating a game where it's just like, oh my god, this character's OP, and then every other character has to like, it's an uphill. They're treading uphill, and I think this is brilliant what they're doing. I think they got to clean it up a little bit, of course. But this is the best Tekken 8 has looked, period, for me.
You know, it's actually interesting you say that, because obviously, like, I think in the middle ranks, you don't get a whole lot of Eddie. So I actually didn't know that. I didn't realize that, like, Eddie benefited that much from this patch of the stuff they were giving him, because I don't know. You know, I just don't play him, so.
I didn't realize he benefited that much either. Because granted, I've messed around with Eddie a little bit, and granted, I don't know his frame data like at all. But messing around with him, it felt like I could still be creative, but I guess at a super like knowledge heavy level, like you have to play a certain way. And so that's interesting to know that like the stuff he got is actually allowing creative freedom, which it actually did happen for a lot of characters, I will say. Right. A lot of characters, which is good, which is why I said the patch is fresh. It feels refreshing. Now I also want to say this because I think this is really funny. Jax makes some noise. I've yet to have any issue with it because Huarin can back one.
Yeah.
Completely get out of it, and it's so funny.
Eddie could up back to it, or he could power crush it.
So she can power crush it too. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Everybody can power crush it. And so it's like there is counterplay. I haven't actually experienced the pull bug, so I actually don't even know what it is.
You know his forward 1+2, the hammer of the gods.
Yeah, I know that.
If you block that, they could just cancel into stance and hit you with a free wall standing 4. I think you could hit with a free wall standing 3 too if it's just frame.
Oh, no way.
Wall standing 4 is like super easy. I've played some people that have done it to me, but I just run away. Okay. I run away. I don't let them. I don't even try to let them blow. Yeah. Talk about Tekken 5 style. I'll incorporate that. No. But I mean, if they set it up right, it's kind of broken. They could frame trap you properly, and then just it's not really fair. That needs to be
right.
But yeah.
Also,
so I mentioned. Go ahead,
I was gonna say, also, strangely enough, despite like everyone getting super aggressive, and you can tell when you play online the way people play, this patch has actually forced me to play like a little slower and a little bit more defensive, especially on like Reyna, and it's been working out. Like I've had more success doing that, and like you said, the movement in this game has never felt better. And so, despite everyone and even Reyna getting more offenses to just hold forward, I've had way more success and way more fun, like sidestepping and trying to punish like things that I recognize and things of that nature. So yeah, it's been fun.
So I mentioned that they're releasing the emergency patch like mid to late this month.
Probably next week or the week after. Probably.
It could be next week. Who knows?
It's because that would be mid to late.
Yeah.
Would be next week.
I'm what makes me upset, very much more upset than anything else, is that the developers can communicate with the community and they don't say anything for 2 weeks. And then the people get mad because they don't say anything. You do realize they have to test the changes. And to say to people, do they even test this game, is absurd. There's no way you're telling me as a QA tester that I'm not going to test 30 plus characters. Each character, mind you, have almost 100 moves in the game. You're telling me that you're not going to test that shit?
And we're being real with the new stuff that they've added in on top of all that, with the new movement system and everything else that they fixed on top of adding in. The fact that we've even gotten the little bit of bugs, we should be honestly happy that even that little bit is
most games Can't
Don't
say
do that. Yeah.
I'm gonna say this. The Anna bug is the funniest thing I've
Oh,
ever
the
seen.
Anna bug is so funny to watch. That shit was so
How do
funny.
you? Okay, so how do you
Okay,
do it? She slaps
okay,
you, but how do you slap her back?
So you do 2, and then I think it's 1 slide 2, or it's 1+2. I'm not sure which. I think it's 2 and 2 1+2.
Okay.
And it's a 1 frame in between the inputs. And it goes into like a mid chop into the rocket launcher stance
Right.
instead of the slap. And then afterwards, because of something with Anna, if she blocks a projectile or gets hit by a projectile or something, she move swaps. She move steals. And so
Uh-huh. I
So
didn't know that.
not only do you have to hit the 2 1+2 or the 2 slide 1+2, whatever it is,
yeah.
you also have to hit a projectile as well for it to.
Well, yeah. So you go into the rocket launcher stance. So
Okay.
so in order for Anna to steal your moves,
Uh-huh.
you have to use the rocket launcher. Otherwise, you can just go into Anna's stances and use Anna's moves.
I didn't know
And
that,
basically,
actually.
how it works is as long as you're in stance, you keep the move. So like Anna with Hwarang, she did his new string 4-3 from right flamingo, and into left flamingo, and started doing the armor cancel to approach, and started doing pressure. She ends in right foot forward. It's a stance still, and so she does JFSR.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And so basically, as long as you're in a stance for that character that isn't like the natural stance, you keep the moveset.
So now let me ask you: is this realistic to do, or is it like
No.
super
No,
difficult
no,
to do?
No, it is. People are going to try it in games, absolutely. People are having trouble recreating it in practice mode.
Yeah.
I didn't know if it was just like boom, she slaps you, you slap her back, and now the move lists
No.
are exchanged.
You have
No,
to
no.
you have
It
to
is- you
react to
have
the
to-
slap,
you-
and then
You have to do it. You have to purposely do it.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like
You have to be looking for it, and you have to do it within a 1 frame difference.
What's a Tekken example of how hard this is to do? Could anybody think of what an analogy would be?
Oh man.
Because essentially, it's a just frame input on reaction.
Yeah, it's a just frame. Yeah, it'd be essentially if you had to react to taunt hitting, and on that get that for like back forward jet up or basically I guess like taunt jet upper type like difficulty would be a pretty close equivalent.
So and you're saying not even setting up a taunt jet upper, just
reacting
and then doing
to
it.
a taunt and doing it. It's almost impossible. It's not
Yeah,
happening
yeah.
in tournaments.
No.
Somebody has done it to me in a real game, and it is the funniest thing.
Right. Okay, that's cool that you got to experience that.
Yeah. But yeah,
But-
like realistically, like especially under any pressure, it's probably not happening.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've fought in 9 Annas now, and it's only happened once.
Okay. So
So-
it's not like, and it's funny because people are like ranting and raving about this, like it's like a whole. It seems like everything is just all this crying, when a lot of this stuff, like we spoke about, all the ways out of the make some noise.
Mhm.
It just seems like a lot of this. Like, what else could we discuss? Like more of the complaints that people are crying about. Could we go over that?
Yeah.
I think the main
I will
complaints. Go ahead, Chilo.
Oh,
Go ahead,
sorry.
Les.
I literally was looking at a salt vent post in a server I'm in. People were complaining about feeling like they have to mash, they have to play aggressive, they have to play stance, and they can't play defense, especially on characters like Reyna. And I can't remember who the other one was right now. But when I know that there's some higher level players that I know that are defensive style players and are loving the patch, that are absolutely destroying people by playing defensive. And so I think it's really funny because it's entirely perspective thing. And so I feel like it's their understanding of defense is so low that they can't grasp the fact that they don't understand defense as well as they thought. And so they think that defense is dead.
I think people are mad that there's just too many 50-50s in the game. It's kind of like Casino 8 right now.
Well,
That there's
that
no
complaint
counter
is
praise
so
anything,
that
and I'm like,
dude, that
go
complaint
ahead.
is so stupid because these
Yeah.
people that are saying, "Oh, it's just 50-50 casino, whatever,"
Go to
it's like
Street
I'm gonna go
Fighter.
play a better game, and then they go to Street Fighter 6.
Yeah,
Like, okay, bro, go sit in the corner and go get fucking throw loop. Go play strike throw.
exactly.
Yeah.
So specific like moves and stuff that I hear people complain about. Obviously the Jack thing, obviously the Paul thing. I don't know if you watched FDX's video on Foxfire.
Yeah.
Steve's
No.
new move. And his like kind of wall game situation. He spent a good 5 to 6 minutes on that.
What was the character?
Steve.
Steve.
In Heat, he has
Oh,
the the
the
5-Fox Fire
Fury.
Fury, whatever it's
Five Fox
called.
Fury or
Yeah.
whatever it is, Five Fox Fury, Five Fox Fire, whatever that move.
And yeah, because it wall
Um,
splats at the wall if it hits.
And
Wall
it's
splats
a
at the wall plus
oppressive
11.
mid string. Yeah.
Is that a new move, or is
Yeah,
that, do
yeah.
you have that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay,
it's
I'm
only
not
2
familiar.
hits. It's only 2 hits out of Heat, and then in Heat it's like 5, and it's all mids. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it's all mids.
And it's super plus.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
that's
I fought a Steve last night in tournament, and that's what he was doing. I somehow squeaked my way through that. So
Yeah, it's like back 1+2, I think, and it goes
Yeah.
into flicker at the end.
okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, people also complain about the new king string too if they're doing it in neutral, because it turns into a game of is he going to charge it or not charge it. If he charges it all the way and you block that third hit, you can't do anything. You literally cannot do anything. You have to, like his elbow, his Jaguar Sprint 1, the elbow itself beats everything you try to do. Like you cannot do anything. You literally have to block it. If you do block it, it turns over. But you do have to. There are a couple situations like that into Jaguar Sprint with King. That are like that, but that string itself, the way it works is kind of wonky because it's high mid. If he doesn't charge it all the way, it's -13. But if you think he is going to charge it, then you can step it or do some or interrupt them. You can interrupt them with a 14 frame or faster move. But it's just a little hokey. Like, am I going to charge it? Am I not? Kind of situation, which is okay. I mean, it's annoying. The way I think they should make that string like high mid or mid high mid or something like that, so you conduct the second hit. Or something like that, but that's another thing that they complain about.
Okay.
There's a lot of complaints about Lars as well. Lars is supposedly super swole. I've gone through his change a little bit, but not really enough to fully understand the scope of what they're talking about.
I have a friend that plays Lars, and he was saying, like, I don't understand entirely, but he was saying Lars is the dumbest character.
It feels that way. It feels that way.
Yeah.
I lost a Night Purifier last night, and I played him throughout the day before the tournament. So I got to play a lot of high-level Lars. I think Night Purifier is one of the best Lars, like him, Conflict, L-Train. I don't know if L-Train's playing on that level like that. I know he goes on and off, but like Night Purifier has been giving me the most trouble, and he would give me trouble even before the patch.
Right.
But it seemed extremely oppressive. The way he could go into his stances and basically control, like you can't really do anything when he does the while standing 2 into the back silent entry or whatever, or dynamic. I don't know whichever one. I think it's while standing 2 and then you hit down or down back and he flutters
He
back.
goes backwards. Yeah.
Yeah. So then like you're kind of, if you try anything, he could just like whiff punish. And then he just like asserts his offense. When he gets a launcher, he gets this like, it's kind of like a Kuma type, where Kuma gets the butt at the end of his combo. Lars gets this like low attack that's unscaled.
It's actually only like 3 less damage than his normal wall ender.
Okay, so it's not
like it is way easier though, because his other wall ender for like the high damage, it's like I can't remember exactly, but it's like 2 hits at wall into a shoulder bash. Or something similar, and it's only like 3 less damage. It is way easier to do the new stuff though.
Okay, so it just felt like fighting Lars just feels like there isn't hardly any holes The only holes
Yeah.
that I could see are like he'll do like a wall standing 2-3, and I could have ducked that, but I'm being bombarded with so much stuff. It's like it's so hard to duck in that situation. You can just do wall standing, what is it, 2-1, and do the mid if he really wanted to.
Yeah.
So it's not even like a legitimate high string where we're like that's the only option. He has a mid. It just seems very, very oppressive and hard to like get away from anything, to step anything. It just seems extremely, extremely difficult to fight. And that has been. Go ahead.
Oh no, sorry. No, you can finish.
I was just gonna say that just is the one matchup that I've fought so far that just seems like out of control and super difficult. But I was like watching Joe Crush play him, and Joe beat him. Like,
Yeah,
so it's not that.
it's not unbeatable.
It's not unbeatable, obviously, because then every Lars would be a Leroy situation of back in the day where like
Yeah.
all the Leroys are just winning no matter how good you are. Like you just pick Leroy and win. But Azim never played Lars before, and I think Azim got like third or fourth last night, never playing Lars, and just did all that shit.
Yeah, he's been grinding Lars a little bit with Trojan on the back end, trying to, because Lars is one of those characters that everybody, like the people who look for those types of like this is the character I should play kind of thing. He's on that short list for sure.
Yeah.
So Azim tries to get ahead of that stuff by playing it himself. So that's probably why you saw him doing that.
Yeah. It felt top tier. If there's anything that felt unbalanced, and because I'm playing as many characters as I could play, I've been going in rank. Not that you can find a whole lot of action in rank right now. A lot of people don't, or they're like not playing in rank. So I'm sitting in the queue longer than I've ever, not getting a match. But like, if there's any matchup that just seems super, super ridiculously difficult, is Lars compared to everybody else. But I haven't fought every character. I would say I don't even think I fought half the cast, to be honest with you.
I haven't seen half the people for sure. Like even playing ranked.
Yeah, no, same.
Man,
I still haven't seen a Brian, Brian is one of my most common matchups.
I've fought a bunch of Brians since this. Brian's good. Brian's got that new low that's unparryable and minus 12 and
and then the new +7 double mid.
Which is
it's a new Snake Eyes move.
Oh yeah. That's good too. That's really good too. But it doesn't. The thing is it didn't seem. It didn't seem overbearing. It definitely was good and it made him better, but I'm better.
Yeah.
Like Eddie's better. Like a lot of characters are better. So it's like that's fair. I think that's all right. It didn't seem completely.
I think every character got better in some aspect. Some characters got like way better, like Lars, way better. I can only really speak for Hwoarang. Hwoarang got better, but power-wise in comparison to like the rest of the cast, like tier-wise, he didn't move like at all because everybody got better more so.
Right. So it kind of stayed the same.
Yeah, he basically stays the same. He is better than he was. And I will say, with the Lars thing, that while he is super oppressive, defending him is very similar to how you're supposed to defend against Hwoarang, except you can't step. You have to just duck. It's defending against Hwoarang if you couldn't step anything.
I've seen a lot of people complain about like Lee and Safina being like nerfed to the ground.
Yeah, like apparently they're unplayable according to the community.
Have you guys played against them?
I have. I thought Lee was stronger than ever.
I've seen Lee players complain. I know Shadow was complaining about Zafina at first, but he later recanted that. I played a pretty good Zafina. Actually, Zafina kind of reminds me of playing like Soul Calibur 6 Nightmare when she gets her charge. Like you have to be kind of aware of the situation. Like once she gets a charge, you have to be aware of what they're looking for and stuff. It reminds me of that. I think she's still good, but I mean, I don't.
Hey,
I
Broken.
think it's too early to know.
Hey, Broken got 4th place at in TNS this past week. So
he did.
Yeah, so I can't see that.
I think it's weird.
So they're just blowing smoke at this point.
Yes.
Yeah,
I think a lot of it is smoke.
I think it's weird that we're saying that characters are bad or like nerfed into the ground when currently every character is viable. I personally thought in season 1 that every character was at least kind of viable. You had to be a real like character specialist to make some characters work. but every character could at least, if you were good enough, make top 8, maybe win. Versus now, any character can.
Anybody can now. I think the only two that I've heard are like lower and hurting is Lee and Shaheen.
Shaheen is not.
I haven't
Shaheen's
seen too much Shaheen.
Yet.
Shaheen's new low is dumb. It is so dumb.
Okay, yeah. So I heard he got the new low, but I heard if you look at his changes, I think he's got a lot of nerfs. Like more, I think Shaheen has the most down arrows than any other character on the patch notes.
Interesting.
It didn't look like it was that many. I'm actually curious.
Could be wrong.
Is EP still playing Shaheen? Ice?
No, he hasn't been playing Shaheen for a while, actually. He is obsessed with playing Ling and Eddie for some reason. I don't know why, but he is like stuck on them characters. But now he always played a lot of Anna. So I'm trying to get him to play more Anna. So he's been playing Anna since season 2.
I haven't played too many, but one of the moves that I thought was kind of dumb only because of its range is, I don't even know if it's a new move. You know, June's stupid ass light thing she shoots out, and that shit hits full screen.
Okay.
So how hard is it to build that meter? Because I was watching.
Not very.
Okay, so you say not very, but okay, I was watching Danelle play somebody last night at WTI, and that he couldn't build it. Like no matter what, the highest I saw it go was like in the 40s or maybe the 50s.
Yeah, like
and then
some of the Junes
built.
I've played have got their meter to like 20, and some of them got into like 80. So I don't know how hard it really is, or if it's like depending on what they're doing. I've seen some Junes even at higher levels do it really easily, but I've seen some others that didn't build it at all.
I played in a long set yesterday before the tournament, and he never built it up a single time. We played like 10 games at least.
That's wild. I have a June player that I play with. He was I think he hit GOD last season. I'm not sure, but he's not a bad player. But every game I play with him, he gets it 100 every game.
Really?
Yeah.
So it's particular moves that
yes.
they have
to
hit,
it's any move that uses like the Kazama power.
And those are the moves that take some life from her?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And now what if you block it? Does it build her meter if you block it?
Yes. It's
like less. I think it just goes up less, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Clive's Zentetsu again. It just goes up less.
Gotcha.
So if you think about that, if they can't hit you with any of those moves, and you keep blocking those moves, yeah, her meter's going to go up slowly, but then she's going to keep taking life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems like if she could build it, then she deserves that, like, OP.
Oh, yeah. No, it's good. And I think it's fair.
So you would say it's fair. Okay.
Yeah, I'd say the actual install and the meter itself is fair. The move, it's because the new homing mid, is that only from having it maxed?
I don't know if it's maxed or just high, like it uses a lot. I can't remember.
Because I thought it was she just had access to it, and if it's only when she has the install maxed out or the meter maxed out, then I think that's more fair. I think that's far more fair.
I guess I guess it depends on if she has access to it as like above a certain amount, like let's say 60, then maybe it's a little much. But if it's only available if she maxes it out, then I don't have an issue with it.
Yeah,
I guess it just depends. I don't know, because I don't know what she needs to be able to use it. I don't play June, so.
Yeah, and I can't really speak. I can only speak on that one Danelle match and what you're saying, because I don't really have any information. I haven't seen anything on it. So I was just like, I think if there's any single character that has the most broken, like, meter or whatever you want to call it, would be Warrior Instinct for Heihachi. That just doesn't seem fair. Like,
no.
Every time, it is ridiculous what that character could do with that. I mean, granted, he only gets it one round, but it's almost like a free round.
Yeah. Okay. Going back to the Shaheen thing, because I did look at the patch notes.
Yeah.
He has 9 only nerfs, like down arrows. But if we're including the one where it's like both up and down, it's
right.
19.
Like adjustments, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
If we're counting adjustments where it's both up and down, it's 19. If it's just the down arrows, it's 9.
That's pretty sizable.
Yeah.
A lot of it's just damage changes. I feel like
Yeah.
I don't think he got a whole lot of change in general.
No, I don't think he did either. They're as far as I know, they're on the same level of change as like Hwaring. Hwaring got 7 down arrows. And almost all of them are damage nerfs, or they shift the frame data. Like I'm instead of +5, I'm +4. Instead of I'm a +4, I'm +3.
Very little bit, very small.
It's very little, but it's really noticeable if you play frame tight.
Right,
because now I can't do certain things.
Right. Okay.
I don't know. Like for me, I definitely feel the nerfs from Yoshi with his damage nerfs, which I get it. He was super strong.
He was super
Wait,
strong.
he had damage nerfs?
Yoshi was super strong in season 1. I get it,
Yes.
but they also nerfed his like health regain, which was weird to me because at what point in the tournament is he gonna regain full life in a single combo?
Yeah.
Not one Yoshi player is going to do a full life regain combo in a tournament. It's just impossible. I'm sorry. They'll do that shit in practice mode. That's about it. So I don't know why they nerf that.
It's almost useless in my opinion because think about
Right.
how much life you regain in general in this game just when like activating heat. Even when you're not activating heat, you're regaining chip damage. So it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's almost like okay, like whatever you want to like nerf his life regain.
Yeah.
Everybody's regaining life if you just play the game. I don't think it's a
Was the recoverable life regain or was it the hard life regain?
Hard life.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so they took away his heart, like his
hard life regain.
Yeah.
So they nerfed that from like 4 to like 1, which is.
I guess that's fair because honestly, like what is him being the only character in the game that could recover actual life.
But the amount of times I see it in tournament is like very minimal, you know?
Very rare for that to even happen in itself. I see what you're saying, yeah.
What else? They nerf Flash that nobody stills punished properly. There's 20 frames plus a visual effect. I use Flash the same way online. Nobody punishes the same.
I still find it insane.
I
spoke to Jermaine G about this like in Texas Showdown, and I was like, if people can't punish this properly, I can't help you. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's just impossible.
I think it's just gonna take time.
Yeah.
What am I supposed to punish? You hit me with it when I'm in my pressure.
Right.
That's why you gotta. That's why you gotta call out when you think is gonna happen.
Man, he's doing that shit when I'm in Flamingo, dog.
I'm sorry.
Then you cancel out.
His new
I can't
move.
cancel.
Oh, you're right. Actually, you can't.
Damn, that sucks. His new move, Kensho 4-1+2. I wish. So it goes into flee on hit and on block, and there's 14 plus 14 on hit and on block, which is wild. And they removed the unblockable from the swore hop, and that's plus 15 if you block it.
Oh.
So I wish that I didn't have to go automatically into. I wish I had the option to go into flee if I want that option instead of going automatically into flee from that stance.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? Like I was playing Cheeto yesterday, or like maybe like over the course of the past 2 weeks, I've used that move. I would think I would be safe to like do something. He'll just hop kick it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like granted, we play like all the time, so he knows what's coming.
We play too much.
But like if I can't spin, I can't do like a flea spin. I can't do like he'll just back up, just hop. I'll just whiff my flea jump. He'll just hop kick it.
So I didn't know that they took the unblockable off of the sword, the pogo sword.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wait, what unblockable they take away?
So
the pogo sword, the flea
Pogo
jump.
stick, yeah.
There's plus 15 on block.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah.
Yes, you explained that to me when we met this past Wednesday. Yes. Okay. I'm following now.
Don't worry. By season 3, he'll have no unblockables. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? They take away all the unblockables, brother.
I can't do no more X special. No more of this. No more force feed.
Hey, as long
That's-
as if you got the sword swipe by the wall, and
Oh
you
no,
can
that's
just,
gonna be blockable too, Sparrow. Don't worry about it.
that's broken still. That is
That
not
shit
fair.
is crazy, dude.
To be fair though, like I still think like Yoshi's one of the only characters I'm entirely okay with having shit like that though. But
It
like,
kind of
that's
comes
also
with the
'cause
package, right? Is Yoshi for the
Right,
use.
He's like one of the only characters in Tekken who
that
deserves
who's been
to have, like,
allowed.
you're right, to break the game.
Yeah.
Not everybody can break the game at this point.
Let me tell you, I went through Raven's changes, and that character to me is gonna feel a lot more like Yoshi, like with the way he's able to add his, like he has so many options from what he can do now, and he's disappearing and shit. It's Raven is nuts. Like nobody's really talking about Raven. I went through his moves of the characters that I've gone through, because I've only gone through probably maybe 7 or 8 characters so far, not including the ones I play. And his like creative moveset expanded greatly. And he's going to be really hard to keep track of, in my opinion, because he can teleport. And when he does that teleport, like the one he does from the soul sweep or whatever, when he does that teleport, he can teleport and be in front of you. He can be back turn, or he can be in crouch.
Oh, so that's new.
Yeah, it's new.
Okay.
So he had the teleport before. There are certain moves
Yeah.
that do that, like the sword sweep does that, and he teleports in front of you. But now he has strings into the teleport, and the teleport can be forward, backward, or crouch when he comes out of it. And there are certain situations where on block he's negative, but if he teleports back turn, he's actually not negative because his back turn jab is 8 frames. So
Right.
it's going to be one of those really tricky things that you have to kind of know.
I think that's fine because that promotes so much creativity.
Yeah, I think so. I think he's going to be a very creatively oppressive character. But
Yeah, I was about to say, because I think I've seen 2 Ravens since this patch dropped, and that's 2 more since I started playing the game.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of Ravens out there.
There isn't a
No.
lot, no.
I'm lucky to have a friend that plays Raven, so I get that matchup. But
Yeah,
That's good.
EP plays Raven as well, so I play Raven a lot too.
Who doesn't EV play?
Yeah, EP's always been a Pokemon trainer. You know how he goes.
That's right. Smokajin himself.
Mokujin himself.
bro, Anna's basically Mokujin at this point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You just gotta hit
See,
that.
one other character that I play, Leo, got some good changes too. That I played against Sparrow this past Wednesday. Her back 1-4. That-
Eddie can't punch out of it. I can't
No.
do anything anymore. It's over. That's
Oh yeah, the back 1-4. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can't sidestep the knee as it's
No.
coming up anymore.
no
Yeah.
You
more.
can still
No.
sidestep. You can still sidestep the knee after. If you sidestep left, you can step most of the stance options.
Right. Eddie used to. So in Tekken 7, Eddie could just hold back and the 4 would just whiff and I could just launch him.
Wait, really? That's so
And-
funny.
Then in Tekken 8, they took away that and I could still just do my sidestep evasion punch.
Right.
That would work. And now that is gone. I cannot do anything. I must hold back 1-4 mixes as an Eddie player. Like everybody else must hold them.
I mean, if as long as because I think there is a move from that stance that catches left, Leo's right, your left. But if you sidestep left after the knee comes out, I don't think I've been hit by like anything outside of like the high punch.
The hot. Yeah.
Yeah,
After that's the thing is that Eddie would avoid the knee.
Oh,
So there was
just-
nothing.
just
They
entirely.
would just kill the whole string. They couldn't even use back
Okay.
1-4, period.
Yeah.
And now that is after all these years, that is finally done. And I was just like playing X. I'm like, no, this match.
And she also had like this. She also had this move from stance BOK 3+4, which is like a double low kick. That's like -12 on hit. That move is so good,
It is.
and it's so fast.
It's
It's-
minus
it's-
12 on hit. I could have sworn.
Oh no,
it
I'm
was-
sorry. I'm block. I'm block. I'm
block.
block. -12 on block. Yeah. And I've been seeing Leo Richie play Tekken 8 on Twitch, and man, this man gets so much mileage out of that one move in the round. It's crazy.
So let me ask you guys, what do you think is going to happen with this patch in regards to EWC, Tekken World Tour, Do you think the participation in these events will be as it always was, better, worse? Let's talk about tournaments, EWC, TWT, patch, the participation, and where we want to go from there. I think that would be a good avenue to go down.
Yeah, I agree. I mentioned before, like we haven't heard anything from Namco recently. I initially kind of thought that was a good thing because that means that they're working like really hard to try to address it. And I really hope that that's true. But they're gonna have to say something this week, in my opinion. There's just not enough time to get the changes out there, and also like the fixes that they make is not just about the fixes anymore. Now it's also about the perception of the game and trying to make it so that perception doesn't become reality. Like I already believe that the current perception of the game doesn't match the reality of actually playing it. But the snowball can get so big that people will never even come back to see it. So now they have to not only fix some changes, they have to like entice people to get them to come back and instill trust back in the team and the development and stuff. But aside from that, they're definitely going to address it. They have to. There's just too much at stake, both for the investment of the game and for the players. Like, EWC there's a lot of money in that. Like, there's a lot of like opportunity and stuff for those big tournaments. So they have to address it. I'm just hoping that they manage the perception so that we get, people coming back.
And when is EWC? Is that soon?
They haven't dropped an official date. I want to say they said it's July to August. Like I could look at it real quick here.
Yeah, they announced the tournaments for it. They haven't. I don't know if they announced the actual EWC tournament or not, but they announced the tournaments that are qualifiers for it. So Combo Breaker, CEO, Evo, those are all EWC qualifiers.
Evo Japan or Evo?
I think both Evo and Evo Japan.
Oh, okay.
Then it would be later than August. No,
it'd probably be closer to September.
Here, I'll post this into the into the group here. This is the date to the this is in the recording. So how would I post the image in here? Can I or can I not?
Yeah, you can.
There's oh yeah, there's that.
All right, so here's the qualifying events that are going to go down for EW, the slot distribution as they call it.
Oh, gotcha.
Riyadh, Evo Japan, Brussels, Combo, Head Stumper. So
okay, yeah. And also Evo. Okay.
Yeah, so Evo, and they're having an LCQ after Evo, which means we're probably going to be closer to the end of August, beginning of September for like actual tournament, and not like necessarily the Tekken part, but like EWC starting. Because remember, they also do all those other games like COD, Dota, League.
Here's the other image, which shows you the date. So it's July 7th through August 24th is going to be when EWC runs. Here you go.
Okay, so it's super late.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I guess if they have 1, 2, 3, if they have 1 through 7th announced, Tekken's going to be towards the end. So Tekken's going to be further along. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going to be going September. Yeah.
Okay.
Not bad.
Well, August maybe week.
Maybe week 8. Maybe week 8.
Is there even a week 8, or is that less than? Let's see real quick. July 7th, right?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh wow. So they don't even have Tekken in there. More details. So that's just the week. That's the schedule for just those 7 weeks. That is 7 weeks, the 7th to the 24th. So it's gonna go. It's gonna be more. Yeah.
They're
getting all these games out of the way, and then they're doing all the fighting game stuff afterwards, I guess.
Probably. I'm assuming they have this set up this way because they probably don't have the info for the rest of it, so they said to the 24th for now.
Yeah.
Right. That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
In terms of what I think the patch is going to be, I think they're going to revert a bunch of changes. My hope is they don't go back too far in the other direction, because that can happen for sure.
I'm hopeful that the changes we get are bug fixes
Right.
And tone downs on some of the new damage, as well as some of the new plus frames. Like Lars does need to be toned down a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
I think he'd be fine if it's just a smidge. But otherwise, that's what I'm hopeful for. What I think will happen is in attempts to try to get everybody's trust back and everybody back on the game, they're going to revert a lot of changes, and it's going to be bad.
Yeah, I mean, all they really need to do, in my opinion, is reduce some plus frames a little bit. Like literally, FDX's whole argument goes up is just because there's so much advantage on that move.
Oh yeah,
And if they reduce it a little bit, that whole video is moot. So I think that, and then the combo damage, you could tone that down a little bit. I think they could remove multiple strong aerial tailspins, only make it so that you can only do one strong aerial tailspin and reduce the frame data. I mean, reduce some of the frame data on these strong kind of like strong plus advantage situations, and let the game rock for a while and see how the meta kind of actually works out. And I think after that, the game will be fine. But I still now think at this point, they have to do a little bit extra. Like, I think they have to do a little bit more than that to make up for kind of the damage that has taken place, mainly because of the mixed messages they put out there. Like if they didn't go on and say we're focusing on the defensive aspect of the game and then put a whole bunch of force 50-50 in the game, people wouldn't be so surprised by it.
Yeah.
When you guys say revert, like what are we talking here? Like when you say revert,
certain changes to characters being completely taken back.
You think they're gonna do that?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
They might, but I don't think it will be to the degree that we think it's going to be.
I think I'm hopeful that they'll do only what needs to be done for changes. I'm thinking they're going to do more than what's needed, and that's what I'm worried about. Also, with the strong aerial tailspins, I just don't think a bunch of characters should have got them in the first place. I just think that's weird.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, it's a new mechanic. It's cool to use them or whatever, but as far as like a combo extender plus damage increaser, I think there's a little bit too much of that.
Oh yeah, I mean,
that's gotta go.
With but I always thought it was really funny because like with Hwoarang, I found a route where I can get, I think I got 7 backlashes in one combo. Super specific. It's the backlash is the Power Crush high element, and which is a strong aerial tailspin. It only happens at wall, and it's a very specific setup, but it's still really funny. But it's stuff like that where it's already really hard to get that move because a lot of the time I have to transition and just perfectly frame the 3 slide 4. So it's already hard to get the tailspin. And so to get that reward is really nice. So to have it be then toned down to where I can only get one, well, why would I use it? Why would I really go for it at all? Because it's already super difficult when I can go other routes that might lead to more damage.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's a Hwoarang specific thing. In most cases, the point of the strong aerial tailspin is to increase wall carry and increase damage.
Right, yeah. I'm bringing that up because like there's going to be a lot of very specific like pop-up arguments. And so just bringing that up.
What about tournament player counts? I'm pretty sure that's going to go down.
Oh, it's low. It's low.
I don't actually think it's going to be as low as people were probably thinking. Like I think some players, even at the high level that like pro players we recognize, some of them probably won't compete. But I do think that there's going to be more of an influx of like the other pairs we probably have never even heard of because of the things they've been given. So don't get me wrong. I think player count's going to go down, but I don't think it's going to be as much as we think it is.
Doesn't Evo Japan have like one of the lowest Tekken player counts?
I mean, it has 900. It was 960. That was the final count for Tekken. I think Street Fighter had
almost 6,000 or something like that.
Yeah.
They had multiple thousands, like 2,500.
And there's always been jokes about like I've been seeing memes that Tekken 8's turning into the MK for Evo type stuff, because I think I can't remember, I think it was last year Mortal Kombat didn't break 1,000.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, all I'm saying is like, yeah, again, 900 isn't very high, but if we're really realistically, if we're looking at Tekken 8 where people are saying like it was way better, it was only 1250 last year, like 1240. So it wasn't like that much of a drop. Yeah, it was like
I'm
Street Fighter.
At it right. It's so funny. I'm looking at it right now. What
Yeah,
the count
Street
was.
Fighter has always been more popular in Japan. Tekken has always been more quote unquote niche, right? It's still one of the more popular fighting games over there. Only dropping by 300 in the grand scope of things isn't really that crazy. Yeah.
1247 last year.
Yeah.
No, that's not even something to worry about. That.
Yeah.
That's nothing.
No.
That's nothing.
So that's what I'm saying.
That's
Like, again, saying it just the number, yeah, it only had 900 and something players, and Street Fighter had this many, when we've always known that Evo Japan was more of a Street Fighter tournament anyways. Like, it's really not that crazy.
That's not crazy if it's only 300 less.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a huge perception thing, man. It's a huge perception thing, and I get it. Like, I even feel it. Like, I would consider myself a season 2 apologist. Like, I think the game is awesome, and I'm still enjoying it as I'm playing it. But even myself, I feel it when I'm not playing. Like, just you look around and everybody's saying, "Oh, this game is terrible. I'm not playing Tekken 8 until they change the game, whatever." And there's this like small, tiny voice in the back of my head, like, is this a valuable use of my time if everybody's feeling this way? But then when I play the game,
you're just having a good time. Yeah.
It's not that different than it was before. Like,
Man,
not that different.
I text IceCold. I text IceCold. I was like, man, I need to stay off the internet, dog.
You know what I think it is?
Yeah.
So these people are probably getting the feeling that like someone that's newer to Tekken feels like, where they have all this new shit that they don't know. They're getting blown up for it, and so their immediate reaction is to immediately bitch about it instead of just going to lab it. And so these people that have been Tekken players for a long time haven't had that experience in a good while, other than like a couple new moves. And now that shit's been fucking shaken up, they're now back to that stage of this is dog shit, this is trash.
Just remind me of something. How do you? So I saw Rip talking about the patch, and he's upset that they took away Law's DSS like thing.
Easy, yeah.
And he was like, he's complaining that he plays LAW for like 25 years of execution to get this right, and then they took it away. Yeah. I'm sorry. Like, as much as I like Rip.
That's my entire character. It's literally Eddie was a lifetime of I mastered the art of handstand and relax, and they just took it away. The whole thing. It's a totally different thing. Yeah, bro. This is what it is now.
Yeah. And
then people that were Ling Xiaoyu and Elisa mains and Yoshimitsu players, y'all still have your shit. This is what it is. There's no complaining about it. It's not
just do the new shit.
It's not created equal. And there are some people like that. That's not viable. That is not a viable excuse, because there are so many characters where like the bear has changed, like things that you were able to do with the bear, like historically throughout time, you can't do anymore. Eddie, you can't do it anymore. And in this character, they just have all their stuff plus extra. So
yeah. Again, it's I understand the feeling because King has it slightly in that. Like, I'm really good at instant shining wizards, like really, really good. And I have cultivated that skill over years and then had to recultivate it when I switched to leverless. And I like being able to do that. I like optimizing my wall combos and ending with instant, like the range 0 shining wizards. That shit's tight. But now it's not the best thing to do at the wall. The new wall string is way more damage and a better situation for me. And, you know, that is the nature of change over time. Like, it's not that big of a deal. Like, just get over it and keep playing.
So yeah, so again, Rip's the homie, you know.
Oh yeah, Rip's the dude.
Rip's the dude. But is he blowing smoke, Spiro?
He blowing smoke. Everybody's blowing smoke. Everybody's crying. And same thing. You brought up something before, like these players that have succeeded in season 1 of Tekken 8. A lot of these pro players, they can't do what they did and win anymore. So what are they going to do? They're going to turn around and boycott the game. They're going to cry. Why? Because you have to do it all over again. We've all had to do it all over again in every Tekken. It's what it is. And would it really be? It would be fair in their house if they could go and do the same thing, the same bullshit with Dragunov and the same bullshit with whatever, and like win all over again. And of course, it's going to feel great when you go home to that. But they don't want the same people winning the same way, so they're going to change the game up, and it would be pretty damn boring for the same players to be winning the same way, or just switching to a higher tier. Like, oh, we're just going to switch over this character now. No, let's buff the whole cast. And now let's roll the dice and see how it goes on.
And we kind of sorry. Go ahead, Sheila.
I was gonna say I brought this up to Jeremy actually when it was like after the first week, and we were still seeing constantly on Twitter people bitching, and I was like, bro, this is like, at least for me, right? Because I play basically any fighting game under the sun except Mortal Kombat at this point. I always think it's really funny because when Tekken first came out, I brought it up. I was like, you can really tell that this is Tekken's real like bullshit button, which is heat, right? And I used it as an example. I think we talked about ice when we talked about like, you have X Factor, you have random little things in other fighting games, and I always see these people complain about this patch specifically, and I was like, damn, dude, you guys either need to just adapt and get better, or go play something else and just like get your mind off of it, because it's like so apparent that you guys have only been playing Tekken and you just want the same thing over and over again. Whereas like for me, I play Street Fighter. I'll play Street Fighter today. I'll play Tekken tomorrow. I'll play Melty Blood the day after. I'll play Guilty Gear, or I'll play like Marvel, and I'm having to readjust on the spot. Like, oh, that's right, I can't do this kind of shit. I got to go do this. I can now double dash. And so in my head, when something's completely new and different, and I just get blown up by it, or whether it's bullshit or not, I'm just like, well, shit, I got to learn how to deal with that now. Versus like.
Do we really want Tekken 7 in 2025? Where round one start, backdash, backdash.
No.
Timeout rounds, backdash, Magic 4. Do we really want that in 2025?
This is the exact same conversation I'm having with Will right now. Like, I do not want to go back to this idea of what I'm calling non-committal defense, like where I'm just gonna like backdash out of everything. You think you're gonna come up close to me? I'm gonna mash this Magic 4 at you with very little risk, and just like you just have to find a way to crack this shell. Or I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna take that, and I'm just gonna wait for the time to run out. Like, that's, to me, that shit's played, dude. And I was
like, yeah.
It just reminds me because
defense versus passive defense.
Yeah, dude. And then like Lotus in that Discord, they're constantly posting clips from Tekken 7 and being like, "See, this is peak Tekken." And I'm watching the clip, and I was like, "Dude, I can't. This can't be it." And then there's like someone who I saw it on Twitter. I can't remember who it was, but they said, "Yeah, guys, I went back to Tekken 7 to give it another shot, and this is just peak Tekken." And then it shows them getting to like the top rank, but they're playing Geese, and they're like, "Come on, bro, be real. You're playing Tekken 8 before Tekken 8 came out. Like, get the fuck out of here with Geese."
Right?
Yeah.
People were crying. People were saying, "Oh, Tekken 7 feels so good." It's like, yeah, are you playing versus Akuma and Geese? One touch.
Yeah.
Because like, let's watch some Super Akuma videos, and you tell me if this is what you want to do.
Right.
Because if this is what you want to do, Tekken 7's worse than Tekken 8.
Yeah.
With you literally do everything right. You do a mid, it gets jumped over, and your whole life bar is gone. Literally gone. Like, I don't want to hear that, because like, I could buy like Tekken 5 is kind of peak in a lot of ways. I think that game was very well made and very neutral based, but like there's just so much. There's so much to this game, and I don't think people even realize what they're saying.
No. Yeah. Okay, in regards to complaints, sorry.
No, you
don't know. Is Arslan complaining right now? Because like that, he is the complainer.
Oh, I've seen nothing but negative
right now.
I've seen nothing but negative tweets from him on Twitter and Reddit.
Know what he's saying, because like, bro is the complainer. Bro is the coper playing Nina. I have to know.
Yeah, I mean, that man's going through it for sure.
He's going through it, that's for sure.
He's definitely going through it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he's complaining about this.
He tweeted out yesterday. I played Tekken today, and there wasn't a single round where I didn't curse the game. It's just too bad and stressful.
That's wild.
Because he can't win.
Yep.
Because these
Yeah.
guys just want to. They're just used to.
Yeah,
winning.
like this current Tekken is whack, but Kuni mirrors at Evo finals, that's the hot shit.
That's peak apparently.
Winning Evo with Geese is the hot shit. That's real Tekken for you. But
Yeah,
this
look what he
Seen
did with,
Leroy.
yeah, look what he did with Kazumi. It's like you literally did like 3 moves and won. You just did down forward 1 all the time and jab. Like, and you won. You won using that. I mean, granted, he's one of the best Tekken players to ever live. I'm not gonna say that, but they're making it so you can't. You're gonna have to redefine yourself if you want to win now. Like, you can't sit here and of course the guys like him are gonna complain the most because they had success in the game. So when they look at Tekken and they look at themselves, it's like, this is what made me the best, and
they're gonna be like, it's not me, it's the game. Like, that's the reason I'm not succeeding.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. And I went through that in Tekken 6 because I was one of the best DR players at the time. And when Tekken 6 came out, I thought, because I was young and I didn't know any better, and it was like, yeah, I went through Tekken Tag 1 to Tekken 4 and Tekken 4 to Tekken 5, but I wasn't a real player. I wasn't a real competitive player at those times. It was Tekken 5 into Tekken 6 when I was like, I'm going to go play Tekken 6 how I play Tekken 5, and I'm going to win the same way. And it didn't work. And I got pissed at the game, and I got pissed at, like, I figured I vested all this time into 5 and I should carry over. No, it don't work that way. It's a new game. You got to put all that work in.
How did you get to that point though, of like realizing that you can't play the same thing that you did before?
So when it first happened, I didn't accept it. I didn't believe it. And I was having a lot of backlash at home from people like my family and my friends and my girlfriends at the time. Like, they were like, oh, you're wasting your time. And I got that even during Tekken 5 when I was like winning, So once Tekken 6 came out and I couldn't do the same thing to win, it was so easy for me to crack. And then at that time in my life, I had like other opportunities, and like I was like, had job opportunities, and I had things outside of the gaming sphere. So what actually took for the realization was being away from the game, seeing new blood come up, seeing the inception of Twitch and esports and MLG and all these things happening, and being like, you're seeing guys that like you would wreck them in Tekken 5, and now they're winning, and you're like, well, maybe it isn't the game, maybe it's me. And and then you kind of like take a step back and you look and you're like, well, was I able to play Tekken 4 the same way I played Tekken Tag 1? No. Was I able to play Tekken 5 the same way I played Tekken 4? No.
What about Tekken Tag 2?
Same. And I didn't even, and that was a whole other thing because I was gone from Tekken. Like, I played Tekken 6 when it dropped for a little bit. Then I kind of slipped away shortly after the console release of Tekken 6. And I didn't come back until like the end of Tag 2. About a year before Tekken 7 started doing their promotional launches and all that stuff. And it was through that time where I kind of matured as a man. Like, I just was a kid. I went from a boy to a man, so I kind of took more accountability over everything. And I did like an analysis of all of it, and I'm like, yo, it ain't like. And that was what got me back into 7. I was like, okay, I want to do this again. I was miserable in my life. I wanted to get, and that was what brought me to Texas, because I was just not happy in New York. And I was like, okay, I am going to grind Tag 2 only to learn 7, because I know 7's coming out. And it was very interesting because I would, people are like, why aren't you playing Eddie Christie? I was like, I'm playing Tiger Eddie because I don't want to do back 1-4. I know it's not going to be in Tekken 7. I know that shit, that's a broken string, and I'm not going to have that. So I'm not. And then I went as far as playing solo Tag 2 just to prepare for 7. And they started doing these Wizard Worlds and all this stuff, and then I moved out to Texas, and we were blessed to have round 1 and have early access to the game before console dropped. And yeah, and I would literally, like, I would play Tekken 7 all night at round 1. They would close. I'd go home. I'd get on a call with Nappy. We would play Tekken Tag 2 at home, and we would only do, we wouldn't bound. We
Yep.
would play it
You
like
you do the Tekken 7 combos.
we did
Like
Tekken
with no
7
tailspin.
combos. Yup. And because it was an honest friend that I was doing it with, we were able to like play it as close to the current game as
Mhm.
possible. And between round one and all the Dallas community and Nashi like reinforcing stuff at home with and Nashi found like a tool, like a bot. Nashi found like a crack for Tekken 7. And it was like very, very primitive and it was very weird and it didn't work right, but it was a little bit of what Tekken 7 engine was. And when we went to final round, man, I beat Saint. Like I was able to beat Saint before we had hands on this game, thanks to round one, thanks to Dallas, thanks to Nashi, like thanks to all of like the dedication. And I played the game differently and it worked. And it's like, yo, you got to put this work in all over again. And these
Yeah.
I don't like you said they just like used to it yet. They haven't felt it in a long time. I don't know, but these fools are just like you're crying. Let's be real. If Arslan and all the big dogs that are complaining about it picked up season 2, regardless of say it was at the state it's at, and they were killing everybody, would they be saying a word?
No.
No.
Right.
Oh,
I think, funnily enough, I think perception of this game, depending on how this patch goes, because I think the patch goes out before EVO Japan. I think depending on how EVO Japan goes and how much, because I think it's going to be way more fun to watch like top 32 this time around versus like previously. I think once people realize that, the perception on the patch will start to change.
Yeah.
You're not going to just see,
I-
you're not going to just see drag Nina top 8s with Shaheen.
Yeah.
I agree, and I think that is going to ignite motivation of other players that like probably thought they never even had a shot at big time tournaments, and I think it's going to birth new pro players.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
going to
Yeah.
see new people rise to the top, and it's going to give hope, and it's going to really, I think it's going to do big things when people with what you just said. It's going to be really good for the smaller guys and the guys that always wanted to do this but felt like just immobilized with the Dragunov shit and with some of this broken stuff and some of these people they had to be up against. And think about it, like if you go into a match and you hate the game, so let's say these guys that are all complaining, right? They're gonna go to these tournaments and they're gonna be salty. I'm gonna play anyway because I'm good, and they're gonna do good because they're good. You know what I mean? But if you have that negative connotation in your mind and you're going in partially defeated, it's why I don't do rock paper scissors before a tournament. You take the side you want to take, buddy. I don't even want to give you that victory
Right.
because I don't even want to go into the match where you already won the first mix-up. Like, no thanks. I'm smart enough to know, like, I'm bad enough at rock paper scissors. Like, I've been doing it since I'm in elementary school, and I'm not good at it. So we are not giving that to nobody. And if you go into a tournament and you're salty about season 2, and this is broken, and that's that. You are going to manifest that into your gameplay. And what will happen is you're going to have the round 1 and something stupid is going to happen. And this is why I hate the game.
Yeah.
And everybody's going to defeat themselves. And you're going to see new blood rise to the top. And it's going to be a happy, happy ending in the end. And you're not going to see the same dudes just winning. And I could smell it. I could taste it. And I know what's happening. I know it's happening.
100%, bro. Definitely. Like that like discontent with like that's the beautiful thing about fighting games, dude. I talk about all the time. Fighting games will find you at your weakness and test you there, whatever it is. And discontent with the game, discontent with yourself, whatever it is, it's like little tiny cracks that exist in your like mental infrastructure. And if you are not fully accepting of the environment you're playing in, somebody's gonna like touch you in that little spot. They're gonna find a little crack, and it's all gonna crumble.
It's gonna crumble.
Dude, fighting games are not for they're not for the weak. They're just not.
No.
You'll find out real quick if you can handle it or not.
I had a couple friends that were like, yeah, I played Tekken growing up. Yeah, I'll get into Tekken 8. And he could not for the life of him understand that he was the issue.
Right.
And so he stopped playing entirely. He crashed out so hard.
That's how it usually goes for a lot of people that try fighting games. They quickly realize like, hey, I'm just not good at it. I just got to practice. No, they immediately start losing. they blame the game or they say it's too hard or whatever, and then they just give up.
Now, granted,
Yeah.
I complain and I'll bitch and moan in the moment, right? But then I'll come back like 10 minutes later and be like, nah, that shit was me. I'm a dumbass.
Yeah.
Right. There's this. You're bringing something else to my mind. So, another scenario for a lot of these players that are really really good is there was a time in their life where they had a lot of hours to dedicate to growing as a player, and they
Yes.
cultivated these skills, and they created a presence and a career and a I'm gonna think what's the word I'm looking for, a brand for themselves where they were able to lock in at a certain skill level. They got the sponsor, they got the skills, they had the group of players to get them their community to get them where they had to be, and that's where they're at right now. They changed the game. They might not have the hours to invest anymore. They might not have the homies to grind with anymore. They might not have the living situation to be able to grind and work. So things start to change, and now they're going to be like, I can't do this, because now they don't even have the lifestyle to recreate their skills because things have changed, and this is what it is. Like, it's happened. I feel like this kind of happened to my cousin RobJin when me and RobJin were working our way up the ladder in Tekken 5. He was in high school during the Tekken 5.0 days. So we grinded. We had no responsibility. And then it moved over to 5.1. And he still was in high school. I started college, and now he grinded. He would do he'd go to the arcade, practice the 5.1 stuff, go home, do what I was just telling you, what I did with Nashi with the Tekken Tag 2 and the 7. He would transpose it and figure it out. And then DR came out, and he was still grinding with me. We were back and forth, and then it got to a point where he started college. He's not living at home. Now you got girls in the situation. You got your college degree in the situation. You're not living at home anymore. He didn't want to. He didn't want to do it anymore. And what happened was, from an apparent standpoint, it was like he didn't want. Like, I'm like, wow, he just doesn't want to work. He doesn't want to work hard and just get better and keep and learn the new shit. And like, but he didn't have the time to do it anymore. So he just gives up. And I think this happens to a lot of people because it's like life happens, things happen. And now, like, it's like for a lot of these pros, it's like if you just leave it all the same, they could sustain their placement and their reputation in the game and in the tournaments and their following, and then they could do what they got to do in their personal lives. But now that you've made it a whole new aspect, and you've got these hungry young kids coming up, and now they're losing to people they've never lost to. It's like, well, fuck this, I'm gonna boycott. I'm gonna play Tekken Tag. I'm gonna do that. I'm not gonna fuck this game. They don't even respond back. And it's just like, no, dude. Like, this is part of it. This is part of what it is. Every fighting game, like, things change, and you gotta find time to allocate towards it. And if you can't, you're not gonna be at the top. And that's
Man, I definitely feel that personal aspect of Tekken. Like, I think towards the beginning of like season 3 or 4 of Tekken 7, my playtime for that game just dropped dramatically because of my personal life, and I just couldn't keep up.
Look at COVID. Look, everybody had to deal with COVID in their own way. So
Yeah.
how are you? Some people, they're like, oh, I'm home, I'm motivated, I got homies, I'm gonna grind. Some people went through such traumatic, hard times during COVID, they couldn't do that.
Right.
And then it's like they just couldn't continue. And that's just one example. And that's just that. Like, then you got people's personal lives, and people pass away, and people relocate, and life change. Like, there's just all kinds of situations that occur. So I think there's a lot of that is happening, which is causing a lot of this backlash. And I think a big part of it all is that the game is still only a year old, a little bit more than a year old, and like there's all this new stuff, and people feel like defeated that they have to recreate themselves so quickly. And the Koreans and the Japanese players had to do this all the time, but we never had to because we never got the game at launch. Now we got the game at launch, so we're getting a taste of what it is to totally change it up, and it takes a real hero to be able to just like rewire your brain and do it.
I think it's like the season 1 for Tekken is essentially the arcade season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's season 2. What we have right now is what we probably, if they had gone that route again, is what we'd have at console launch.
Maybe not even. Maybe because think about it. For Tekken 7, right? They had the vanilla version, right? So let's say that's
Right.
that's season 1. Then they had the FR version at arcades before the console launch.
Mhm.
So we could be
Right,
in the
okay.
FR phase, the Fated Retribution phase, and we're not even at the console launch yet. We're not even balanced there yet.
Yeah.
But there's confusion because there's all these like DLCs and there's all these new
Mhm.
characters. So everybody thinks that they're there and they're playing it on console, but it's just like
It's
no,
it's not. It's not. It's
Right.
it's the arcade. It's like, for example, I Tekken 5. I've only ever played the arcade version because at least I think so, because I never played Dark Resurrection.
Okay.
I only had this PS2 copy that I'm pretty sure was the arcade release, because it didn't have Drag, didn't have Lily, didn't have any of the other characters.
That was initial arcade release 5.0. Yep.
Okay, yeah. And I've played that only. And so to play, and there's a lot of fairly unbalanced stuff that I've found within that version of the game. And then I've gone back and played DR since, and then played my personal copy on my PlayStation, and I'm like, holy fuck, there is a massive difference.
Day and night. Right.
It is day and night. It's
Day
insane.
and night. It's crazy.
It's the same game. It's just
Right.
different like versions.
5.0. There was 8-frame jabs.
Yeah.
They did away with that in DR. They just they made everybody have 10-framers. That was it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they standardized the jabs.
Yeah. Standardized jabs. That was like some.
He had
characters
9-frame jabs. The only character with 9-frame jabs.
Right.
That's crazy.
And then you had Ganryu, who didn't even have that. He had the headbutt. That was his 10 frames. So it was just like it was all over the place. It was all over the place. Yeah. And they fixed a lot of that. So yeah, I think a lot of these new heads, they don't even know what they're talking about. And I hate to say that. I hate to sound that way. And I'd say that with all due respect. I say that with all due respect. But they don't know what they're saying because they didn't live through this. They haven't lived through this, and they're seeing things and they're experiencing things that we old heads that we've just been through it with Tekken. And I'm sure other guys like y'all that play other fighting games, this is resonating with other things. I can't speak for other fighting games. I can only speak for Tekken.
Right.
But it's just I think there's a lot of emotion and there's a lot of way over crying about stuff that's just like, give it a little bit more time and really step outside the box and think about what you're saying.
So
Well-
I'll tell a quick story about perception. So one of my friends that I talked to is like really about to get back into the game for season 2, like super hype, whatever. Like, okay, great. Like, we're excited that we're going forward with this. Plays online for a while in season 2. And then the next time we talk, I'm like, they're like, oh, I'm not playing season 2 anymore. Like, this is nonsense. Because, this is when 2.1 Make Some Noise came out and whatever. And I was like, was it really that bad? Like, was your perception of actually playing the game, was it that bad? And they're like, no, it wasn't actually. But when I went into the lab and saw that, like, I didn't have very many options for these specific situations, then that made me mad. Now the game's terrible. And to me, like, that is the huge leap that people are making. Like, I'm not denying that there are things that can and should be adjusted in the game. But the actual act of playing the game, if you really compared it to what it felt like to play the game now versus season 1, I feel like it really does feel the same. I played online, I played in a tournament now. Like, I've felt what the game feels like. And it feels very much the same, even though there are things that are a little bit overly oppressive and need to be adjusted. So, like, I'm really, really encouraging people to, like, just be careful who you listen to and go out there and actually play the game for a while, look at the situations that you're in, check to see if there's actually counterplay or not. Sometimes there is, sometimes there's less, but it's not nearly as bad as Twitter would make you think it is. So, and there's a lot of people out there who are kind of like pushing this, oh, let's go play Tekken Tag 2, or let's go play, I'm going to show you a clip of Tekken 6. Like these are like, this is when quote unquote real Tekken was, when a lot of these people weren't busting a grape when that game was played anyway. There are people who will have complained all of Tekken 7 and all of Season 1 Tekken 8. And if they actually played the game competitively at that time for Tekken 7 or Tekken 6, they'd be complaining about that shit too.
That's right. The same people that are
Yeah.
saying how great it is would have been complaining just as much of it. No,
They
you
would have
can't
been
make them
first
happy.
in line to be complaining about
First
that.
in line. First in line.
So
Yep.
don't, because I understand that if all of your like quote unquote top players, all the people you quote unquote listen to are saying this game is garbage or whatever, I'm not playing. It might make you feel like, oh well, if I don't feel that way, maybe I just don't understand the game the way they do, and I don't want to put myself out there to say like, oh, actually this game is actually kind of fun. Like, what are you guys talking about? You might be afraid. Like somehow you're just not seeing what they see, so you just accept it. You just like eat it. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
And it's somebody else's opinion. You're eating somebody else's opinion, and it could be, like I said, these lifestyle changes. It could be all these things that actually have nothing to do with the game. It has to do with their personal opinions and whatever these people are going through. And now you are adopting that and just applying it to it. You're literally letting other people destroy your love and your passion for something.
And something else that people aren't even taking into account is like the people that are complaining, they're not even all complaining about necessarily the same thing. And they also want different things out of the game. So guess what? You listening to those opinions, you probably also want different things out of the game. So you probably won't even agree with them if you just played the game.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Two things for me. One, I like Michael Murray. I do.
Yeah.
His social media presence can sometimes be absurd, just a little bit.
Yeah.
Calm down.
Yeah,
Get off Twitter, please, bro.
Get off Twitter, please.
For both of us.
Yeah.
He's a hothead for real.
Second of all, for people who saying to fire Nakatsu, why? Stop.
Yeah.
There's no, just that's wild.
Wait.
Like, chill out.
Wait. Explain that second one. I don't understand.
People want to fire the game
Nakatsu.
director,
Battle director.
the battle director.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Because
I haven't seen that. I don't know if people are saying that.
Because they're like,
Yeah.
getting rid of him is gonna all of a sudden magically fix this issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's ridiculous.
That'd be like wanting your sports team to fire their head coach because they did something wrong.
Because the play was not done properly.
Or as an example, Luca with the
disagreed
Mavericks.
with the trade. Yeah, exactly.
Like, that's just as wild to me. So
Yeah.
People also try to blame Soul Calibur. Y'all need to stop that horse shit too.
oh
Yeah,
my god,
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also that. Yeah.
Well,
people need to embrace this game, and they need to
do.
come up with their own opinion and play the game for a while, play all the matchups. I was talking earlier about how oppressive I think Lars is, right?
Yes.
And I really feel like, talk about having a hard time, like super hard time. But I'm not going to stop playing the game because Lars.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
If I run into Lars, that's tough luck. I gotta deal with it. I gotta fight it. But I could enter in 10 tournaments and never space a Lars, and I don't gotta worry about it. Let Joe Crush take care of that guy. You know?
Right.
Exactly. I do know of. I just remembered this. There's an Elisa player that I know that competes. His name's Rayman. I don't know because I don't really follow when he competes, but he said so. He played 35 ranked matches in season 2, and almost like I think less than half of them are on Elisa. And he's dropping the game and playing Street Fighter 6.
Nonsense.
And no. And I asked him, and I genuinely was like, and this was like week. This was after week 1, and because at first I was dooming because I was like, Hwarang feels weak as shit. In comparison, but the more I played, the more I've kind of figured stuff out. And so I genuinely went to him and I was like, I think you just need to play. You need to play the patch out. You need to feel it, because I'm telling you, the more I play, the more counterplay I'm finding, the more stuff I'm learning. And he told me that the 50-50 stuff is like is too much. And I'm like, well, you're going to play Street Fighter. And he's like, yeah, but at least with Street Fighter I'm choosing that, versus I played Tekken not for this, And I'm like, this is kind of weird.
It's
So you're-
50 since
Yeah,
8
Let me
drops.
introduce
What
you
are
to
talking-
Mortal Kombat, please.
Wait,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
no,
but-
hold on.
but-
That line of thinking is already so stupid because he's like,
No, it
I'm
is.
dealing with these 50-50s in the game, so I'm just gonna go choose to only deal with 50-50s in Street Fighter because it's
Yeah.
my decision.
If
But
there was no,
as well,
Go ahead.
the other reason is because he feels like they've killed his ability to play, like the play style for Elisa that he had. He feels like they've killed the character.
Isn't she stronger than ever?
I actually don't know.
I heard some complaints about how good Lisa is.
She's
Actually,
sure
so good.
her new
She's
moves
so
are
good.
Her new moves are insane.
disgusting.
I think I heard so from him. He was saying that her neutral is worse, and he's a far more neutral heavy, like a small Tekken player.
It hasn't felt
And
that way against Elisa, but maybe.
I don't know. That's just what I like. That's just something I remembered, and so I kind of conceded on that because I was like, well, I don't know, but I genuinely think that you haven't played the patch enough.
We haven't played the patch, and I'm not trying to take no shots at anybody. But everybody today's got the internet. Everybody thinks they know it all. It's like, I don't even think he knows what he's saying. I hate to say this again. I played AIM 2 yesterday. Probably like almost 10 games, 10 first to twos in ranked. And AIM 2 has been a phenomenal Elisa player. It's as long as I've been playing ranked, as long as I'm playing Tekken 8. And like, I was just starting to get the hang of this guy. I was just starting to figure out his Elisa, right? And now season 2 drops, and my Eddie is all buffed up, and all of a sudden, this guy's giving me more problems than ever. Elisa is so strong, and that's just AIM 2. I haven't played Cuddles Elisa yet. I haven't played Obscure's Elisa yet.
Right.
So like, have the homie go play AIM 2, have him play Cuddlecore, have him play Obscure, and then get back to me and let him talk. Like, play the top Elisas in the country before you're gonna sit here and say my character lost her neutral. Like, I just before this interview this morning, I played Nomar for 2 hours, Eddie versus Eddie. And I'm going to try and play Wasulu and Gray and PCM and Unmade. I'm trying to play all the best Eddies in America so I can learn my character through other people. And we can, like, you have to do that. And I'm historically like the best American Eddie, after Slips, like I'm the guy. Even more than Slips, because Slips stopped at a certain point and I kept going. Like, I'm still going to go to other people and learn. So for somebody to make a blanket statement on like, oh, my character lost their neutral, it's like, come on, like, what do you? That's just an excuse.
Bro. Even people way lower ranked than you are gonna look at that character differently, and they're gonna be like, "I never thought to try that shit out or do use that move like that."
Yeah, it's like, what's his highest rank? Like, how far has he gotten?
Oh, my friend.
Yeah, the Elisa player.
Yeah, he's God.
He's God.
Yeah.
So he's God, and he's saying that I would like for him to have that discussion with Cuddlecore, Obscure, and AIM 2. Those are the top 3 Elisas I can think of. I'm sure there's more. So. If the other ones, excuse me for not, those are just the ones that I'm familiar with and I practice. You know what I mean? But like, because what's his? I don't know if you want to put people on blast. Like, I don't know. Maybe I've played him and I'll know. Like, who is?
Maybe his tag is Rayman.
I don't think I've ever played him. That doesn't sound familiar. So I don't know how much.
Maybe. I know. I think he streams. I'm not sure.
I think he's limiting his potential with that thinking, and he could if he reached God in season 1 with Elisa, he has all the potential.
Oh no, absolutely does. Which is why I was really kind of like, no, you need to play the patch.
Play the game, yeah, you got to play it.
Yeah,
he's got to just play more.
Yeah.
And on the topic of like, you see a different level player do something that you never would have thought of. I was literally playing Eddie against Jeremy last night.
Yeah.
And I was doing everything that you don't do. And so I was getting him with it.
He did so much things. Oh, what the fuck is that? He never used that. Like, I don't know.
And like, because all my Eddie knowledge is T5 Eddie. And I still don't know his frame data.
Right.
So it's like, I'm just doing moves because that I remember. Or like, and somewhat remember.
Right.
And so it's a different perspective. It's a totally different play style, and it still will mess you up.
And that's the beauty of this game. Is that there's so many different play styles for each character. People could be so creative and win in all different kinds of ways with the same character.
Yeah.
So, sorry. So real quick, it's like we've been on for like an hour and 40.
Yeah,
yeah,
roughly.
We're about hit our time.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. I'm getting pinged about dinner. So
Oh boy.
Yeah, and I don't know how much into golf you guys are, but Rory and Bryson are about to make the turn. I'm about to watch this back nine live.
That's right.
Hopefully
The
Rory
Masters
makes
is going
it to
on
the
right
Slam
now.
finally. Yeah. So
cool.
I'm
yeah,
not a fan on watching, but I love playing.
Oh yeah.
oh man, I
Cheetah.
love to play golf.
Cheetah,
for
you want to
sure.
wrap up, Cheetah?
Yeah,
We'll
yeah.
wrap it up.
Yeah, we'll just go ahead and wrap it up. Thanks for tuning in. We'll come back. We're gonna let a couple tournaments go through and see how the community's feeling. So probably maybe in a month or so before Evo, we'll do another episode to talk about, see what the changes were made. So again, Ice, Lotus, Spiro, nice seeing you guys again on the podcast.
Yep. Get out there and play the game, guys.
Play
Just
the game.
Just play the
game.
Stay off the internet, please.
Yes, just play what you love. Play this game. Y'all love it. Stop worrying about all these changes that always happen throughout time. Just play the game and have a little faith in the development team. They will fix the major things, and we will figure out as players. We have creative, productive, resourceful minds. We will figure ways out how to beat it.
Exactly.
Yes.
100%.
And we'll go ahead and end with that, guys. Thanks for tuning in. See ya.
Peace out.
You guys, peace out. Later.